Identity is a tough one for me because a lot of the times I'm trying to not identify myself as anything. Usually identity is represented as a state of being, whereas what I'm trying to do is be in a state of becoming something. So if identity is actually something that allows you to be in motion, that allows you to identify yourself as more than one thing, then that's helpful to me. So it's all about context. I'm not going to be the same person to everyone. I have a different identity to the state than I do to my parents, than I do to the people that come from, Barbados, where I grew up. So for me, identity is all about how you're framing yourself and who you're framing yourself to. So these are all questions that I think, you just need to ask if you're going to start identifying yourself, or else you're going to find yourself in a box, or you're going to identify yourself with something that you outgrow. And to me, to outgrow your identity is the worst thing because it puts yourself in a static position.
Born foreigner, suffering not to suffer, dying to live. Life moves faster, yet the pain moves slow. Hope remains with tomorrow, though I still take sips. Subtle bliss just to falsely reminisce. Duality speaks when lines blur. Where the penny drops, home.
In order to know where you're going, you need to know where you're from.
For real. I even remember seeing you in the street, and we were both with our respective peoples at the time, and it must have been a weird sight for anyone to see that on the outside, because while our friends looked like they could be friends with each other, we always looked like we were apart from them. Yeah, we were standing on opposite sides of this sort of thing. Yeah,
just the references and the nuances were the same. And there was, as you said, there was a kind of like telepathy at work.
Yeah,
Facts. And a magnetism that brings people together.
Yeah, and I think it's the fact that it's almost like we don't take things for what they are. There's always a meaning behind it that we're into, and I feel like a lot of people overlook the nuance in things sometimes, and we're very much like, if we like something, we like to find out where it's from, why it is that way, who were the first people to start that, why did they do that way, and really dig deep into it and fully understand it. And I noticed that a lot of the time people didn't connect on that same sort of level. They just see something and imitate rather than soak it up and be a part of it, want to actually be a part of something. But then at the same time, I'm just glad that I have someone that I can be in that with, because it would be a very lonely path if there wasn't someone that understood it on that sort of level.
I think it would be boring though as well if there wasn't that constant desire for reinvention. You always want to move. Yeah. And everything is kind of a feedback loop in a way. Something old becomes something new. It's cyclical. It's like everything gets recycled and comes back around, and it's just a case of being a person or people that identify that before the curve, ahead of the curve.
Yeah, most definitely.
I don't think you or I could ever shake that off.
No.
I think
it's not something you lose or gain. It's something that you just have.
Yeah, and it's also a way of maintaining creative control and ownership in what you do.
Because that's, again, goes back to our roots. It was a lot of ownership. Everyone was very proud of their sound systems. They were very proud of that sort of culture that they had taken on these massive boats over to a cold ass country like this, and they wanted to show that off and make sure that they showed something that was their own. They didn't really have much money. They didn't really have much else to show. So that was, all they had. So we got to carry on with that same view of ownership, and it's like teach other people about the importance of that.
In order to know where you're going, you need to know where you're from.
redemption will burn like the Molotov. Would have been in flats whipping crack if my mother stopped. Look at all the chances you've had. Now, you've had enough. Makeup couldn't make up the pay cut. Tell the truth, I want them sprayed up. Bloodshed, this message can't be unread. I'm done. Enough said.
Both of us, we kind of come from this thing of feeling like the odd ones out.
Yeah.
In a lot of spaces. I think it's been a thing for both of us since we were like quite little. Mm-hmm. In terms of like not being this but not being that, and then kind of being in between. No matter what room you enter, you kind of just have to be yourself because you can't really like be anyone else. I think for that same reason we like connect to people like that because there's so many people like that.
Yeah. I feel like I'm so open. I'm open with like my opinion or what I like. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. I'm not scared to show it anymore. But I think when I was younger or even just growing up, it was kind of a bit suppressed, like even just coming from Bradford, and anything that you like that's out of the norm, you just seen as like this weird, like this weird person. But just even coming to London and no one here knows me, or I've been able to just be myself. There's someone else that I can see doing something similar, and I think even for each of us, now I understand why it's important for me to be open about it, because there's other young black women like me that, you know, didn't see someone. Like it would have made all the difference when I was young if I'd seen someone like me. So now that I've got the confidence to show that, I've just realised how important it is, and I'm sure it's the same for you. So
I mean, yeah, and it's like you said, it's like right now feeling like the most you've ever been, and that's certainly how I feel as well. It's gratifying that with every month that passes, I feel like I am becoming more of myself in a way, or able to take whatever this personality is and articulate it better, or like you know, people are that intricate, and I think it's a shame when people don't acknowledge how intricate they actually are.
Yeah.
Complex norms. From Chief Keef, bang bang, go black 300, bang bang, to Edmund Lewis. Our art lived through it. From Burna Boy to KSA, our art lived through it. I traveled the 7 seas. Our minds, bodies, and resources. So when Nas said, the world is yours, across it was much more. Blood ties with the soil. They stepped on us, but they stepped on all.
One of the gifts I'm very happy about and grateful for is the gift of sight. The way I see things, you might not see it that way, you know what I mean? But it's my job to show you how I see things, and then the conversation can go from there. But if we're not doing that, and I'm just like, yes sir, to you, it doesn't make any sense. I don't learn anything, you don't learn anything, and we're just agreeing with each other. And like I said, it's to express myself to you, or my perspective to you, but to do it in a way where you understand. I mean, so I'm not just talking at you, I'm talking to you.
So you're almost communicating and translating.
Exactly. But if you're making art or music or work anyway that doesn't make any sense, it doesn't hold any weight, and over time those things disappear. With me in particular, I make music in the voice that I think in. Do you know what I mean? And it's so easy to fall into the hole of when you move to somewhere you want to assimilate, and you can very easily fall into that thing where you're trying to impress or you're trying to be a part of something. You know what I mean? Which is, cool. You know what I mean? But that's not me. That's not what I want to do. And I want to be my own person. I want to define myself the way I want to be defined, rather than trying to impress someone else or trying to do something that I think someone else might like. It's about what I like. So that's why my music sounds the way it does. It's how you say stuff. That's what poetry is. You know what I mean? It's a way to talk about your day, but make it where it's like, oh, I'd never thought about the walk down to that place like that. I'd never noticed so thing. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's like opening someone else's mind to stuff that they see every day or feel every day, but they didn't have the words or the expression to articulate the fact. It might be difficult for people to understand, like, you know, where I'm coming from as an artist, but that's just who I am. My music is the most honest person I can be.
Being true to that will give you a peace, and that's what brings me peace as well, because I'm not making work because someone else is telling me this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it, I'm just creating it because I want to share. Identity to me is everyone that makes up who you are, the richness from my hometown, and just being able to celebrate different aspects of the earth through festivals and masquerade and culture. Like, those things are my identity, and those are the things that influence my practice, my work, and like my drive, in a sense of like discovering more of these things that make me, I don't know, it just puts a joy in my heart, you know, just finding out this information about where I'm from and the culture and the richness of like everything that's produced from the land itself. So, and all of those things makes up who I am. So when I'm creating and I'm working, there's always an aspect of the Benin Kingdom, Nigeria, that gets embedded into my work and into how I translate exactly what's happening in my world right now and how I view everything around me. So that's how strong identity is to me, and it's really something that I hold really close to my heart, and it's something that can really keep me at peace when I am quite confused in the world, or like there's just a lot of stress sometimes. But when you know that, you know, the ancestors, your culture, and like there's different things that we do that help celebrate different aspects of you as a human being, and knowing those things makes me really. So yeah.
I'm gonna let you start with that.
Okay, well, with me, grew up with many like cultures, because I'm Nigerian, born in the Netherlands, and I grew up in Ireland, so it's like within my work or whatever choice of medium I choose to express myself, I always have to put like something that has my identity in it, whether it's like me, just the way I use I usually use my voice most of the time with those things, because I would talk like this, and I was switching my first say concon, like just I'll use my accent, my language as well. It was part of my identity, but I didn't. It
wasn't forced.
Yeah, and I didn't accept it, not until like I got to the ages of like over 18, where I started to appreciate it even more, because I grew up around it so much where I didn't appreciate it, and that's the word I should even be using. But the more I started to delve into my own identity and realize, oh damn, this has been in me for so long, the more I started to uncover and just, now I can't even shy away with it. I can't shy away from it. I just always have to I just accept it now. I just roll with it because it's in my soul. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I really.
It's never really a thing that you notice, but I don't know. Like as I got older, things are just more apparent. Like it's not everything that's just said you just believe kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You kind of gotta feel it.
Yeah.
Then it's like, yo, I can relate to this because I've been here before. So we've always been a part of a fucking community. That's why
Yeah,
as long as I've known you, I could even be like, oh, what was you doing? And I'm sure I have an idea of, you know, the kind of, because I'm from the same community of people. So you know what I'm saying? It's second nature.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, that's why I truly believe that communities are important, because it does help shape and define certain people.
When this community got made that we're a part of, we didn't have that in mind. It's second nature. As humans. To build that. So that's why it's like, you know, like it's like me and you meeting. Before that, I didn't go out with my mind saying, yo, I'm gonna go to this area, I'm gonna do it. I was just hustling on that fucking block. So was you, so was all the other people that we know. They was all hustling on that block. So it's like, it's second nature, bro. It's like part of being, I kind of want to say human. Because it's like, in any little sub-genre or whatever, it's a community, you know, within that. So this is that beautiful story of like, they came from the same community. Yeah, we was running around before this, you know what I'm saying? And then
Facts.
now I'm sitting at the round table, you sitting at the round table, I'm looking at you, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy that you're here with it. You know what I'm saying? We ran them corners together.
Yes, bro, for real.
Back of them sweaty clubs.
Oh, damn.
Nah, do you remember the first time you had football training? You bunked football training to go and jukebox Sheeja's. Then from there, the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is. How does she sing in that one? Remember, do you?
Mom's fam, I'm just more cranking at the back like that. Nah, that was just. Yeah, it's mad though to think of the journey.
But the first time, compared to now, is weird. Like,
the improvements, man, literally, the improvements sick. Nah, I'll never forget that though. Nah, for real. Yeah, man, I think in terms of music, like, I don't think they can beat us, to be honest. Like, because we have such a good dynamic, like, outside of music, like, regardless of what happens in the music, like, we'll still be friends, and then that transfers when we go to the studio.
The chemistry.
Yeah, man, the chemistry's there still. The chemistry's there. Yeah.
Didn't see you come through that way, did ya? Those right over there, mate. But listen, you ever woke up and thought, what the fuck? Yeah? Sometimes I walk through the park thinking, I just want to smoke a ABAGA weed. Sometimes I walk around with a bag on me. But listen, you can't be chasing the money without wearing a ABAGA tee, ABAGA hoodie, or ABAGA jeans. Don't fumble about it, please.